What's going on, everybody? My name is John Serwin and this is my kitchen. Welcome. Today I'm going to show you how I made this. About 1 pound of nice homemade butter. Yeah, cultured butter. Not only do you get the butter, but then you get a nice about quart, shy of a quart of buttermilk. So yeah, stick tuned and show you how it's done. So in order to make our homemade butter, I'm going to use a whole quart of heavy whipping cream. Try and find the highest fat percentage. This one is 40%. You can find usually anywhere around 35, 38, 40%. So yeah, 1 whole quart of heavy whipping cream. Look at that cascade. Yeah. Oh, I'm easily entertained. And then we're going to go ahead and last time I made butter, I had some leftover buttermilk. That's what you're going to end up having when the butter or the fat and the milk end up separating. You're going to have buttermilk, right? So I'm going to do 1 cup of buttermilk, and that's going to go ahead and indoctrinate all the cultures in there. So we're just going to keep that at room temperature. I'm going to mix this up slightly with a little whisk. Why not, right? Cover it. And we will be back in a day or two, and you're going to see it's going to kind of look like sour cream. But I don't think it is sour cream exactly. I don't know. Maybe someone out there can tell me. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and cover this up with some plastic wrap or tea towel, whatever you guys feel. And then I will set it on the counter for 2 days. This is the exciting stuff, right? This is probably the stuff I should learn how to edit out, maybe? We'll see, though. All right, on the counter. 2 days. But then how does this give a real feel, right? Especially right when I have a new puppy right at my foot, too, that I'm probably going to trip on. You'll see in these videos. All right, folks, 2 days. Hey, folks, welcome back. Guess what? It is 2 days later, and let's see how our buttermilk and heavy cream mixture, let me grab a spatula here, is doing. Should be cultured up cream now, which is kind of like, yeah, like sour cream. Look at that. Can you see that consistency? Plop. Yeah, pretty sweet. I wonder, I mean, maybe someone in the comments could tell me, is this creme fraiche or is this sour cream? Is this how it's made? Because it really has that consistency. I think that's going to make some incredible butter. Here, let me get you a close-up here. Yeah, take a look. Sour cream, right? That's what I'm going to call it. We're going to grab our stand mixer. And I've put the bowl, the paddle attachment, and the whisk attachment in the fridge to cool down some. And what we want to do is make like a whipped cream. But we're going to take a pass of whipped cream and break that whipped cream. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and retrieve that out of the fridge. We're going to put on our whisk attachment to begin with. And then we'll change it over to the paddle. So I'm going to throw this back in the fridge. Let's see. Best process to do this. Whatever. We're just going to go ahead and all in, right? Big old plop. And yeah, I like a clean bowl, so I'm going to scrape it clean with this silicone spatula I got here. I bet when I play this back, I'm going to have some interesting faces when I sit here and am doing things and not talking. I'm sure the faces are going to be interesting. We'll leave some in for you too. I'm going to put this in my sink, but you know what? This is going to drive me nuts. I got to clean off my hands. All right, coming back. So now I'm going to get this work bowl into the mixer, and then I'm going to go ahead and clean off the spatula on the whisk here. I don't know what it is about me and like the waste of, when watching other shows and watching other cooking demonstrations, the amount of waste that happens, like things left in bowls, not cleaned up, blah, blah, blah. Sorry, gonna try and not go on a rant here. All right, anyway, sorry, that was probably loud. I am going to put that on down, and we are gonna start it out relatively slow. I mean, my mixer goes up to 12, I believe, which is one more than 11, huh? Spinal Tap fans, anybody? We'll see, kind of showing my age, even though that was before my time. I'm gonna start it on 5 just to get it started up. Yeah, get a good whisk of it going. And I said I started it on 5, left it there for about, what, 13 seconds? All right, we're gonna let this go for a minute, and once it starts getting into different progress points, I'll go ahead and show you guys. Right now, it literally just looks like, yeah, here, I'll show you. Sour cream getting whipped into a mixer. Ladies and gents, we have obtained sloppy whipped cream now. So I am gonna quickly turn this off, and I am gonna change out to the paddle attachment. Give me a moment. This is what it looks like. Ooh, come on now. There we go. So while I'm here, knock that off, right? I'm gonna give a quick scrape down. Scrape down to the bowl. And then I'm gonna put on the paddle, because one time before when I made this, I was actually doing some testing and trying to film it. Literally, as soon as I was about to change to the paddle, it broke as a whipped cream and the buttermilk went flying everywhere. So we're gonna go ahead and, yeah, grab the paddle. Get this on. Nice and cold. All right, put her back down. And we're gonna start off at 5 again. And quickly work our way up, because it's gonna break very soon here. I'll bring you guys in closer because it's very close to breaking. I'm gonna put it down to 5 and watch. I'll bring it up and show you. Hopefully before the buttermilk comes out and starts sloshing all over the camera, but you'll see. Try and keep it back some. All right, we're going to 10. Oh yeah, I'm getting slapped with some buttermilk, so we're getting real close. Right over there, that's where it's separating. All right, it's happening, so I'm gonna turn it down even slower. We have achieved breakage, full-on breakage. Yep, you can see. Oh boy, now that is really starting to. See if I can get you guys a good look at it. Yep, and we are done. All right, so we have fully obtained? No, we have fully, what are we gonna call that? Whatever, we got butter. We got the butter fat and the buttermilk. I'm gonna use another little spatula to get all this out, or get all this off my paddle. And then we are going to come up to the process of washing the butter. There's still a whole good amount of water inside the butter right now. So if we use some cold water, I'll just show you the process. But what we're gonna do is end up using very cold water, our hands, and maybe some butter paddles, if I could find them, to wash up the butter. All right, give me a moment, I'll be back. If you're curious as to what it looks like right now, that is what the butter fat, I'm calling it, and the buttermilk look like before I separate it all. Strain it, if you will. All right, folks, so I just have a strainer with right over a stainless steel bowl, glass bowl, whatever you want to use, but I'm gonna go ahead and capture that buttermilk as well. So, because that stuff's good to change, or good to save and use for pancakes, biscuits. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and let that drain. Technically, I think I could call it butter now. So now that it's been draining, I'm gonna go ahead. Ooh, geez Louise. Sorry for the language, my bad. I am gonna take it out of here. Clean hands, of course. I'm gonna throw it into, I shouldn't say throw it, let's place it, right? Place it into, first I'm gonna squeeze it out over this, and you can see. The only problem with doing this by hand, right? My hands are gonna heat it up real quickly. And we don't want that. So, I'm gonna go ahead and get it into this nice ice cold water bath, right? And I'm gonna try and squeeze it Get my hands in there, give it a good squeeze. Ugh. Get that water out. Because the more water you can get out, the better this thing is actually going to store, is what I've noticed at least. So what I kind of do is I start flattening it into kind of like a round disc here. Now it's getting warm again. I'm going to throw it back in, or place it back in. Let it get cool. Squeeze it, fold it, squeeze it. See how it's still got that stuff coming out, right? Squeeze. Now we're going to go ahead, get it into a flat disc again. And eventually I'm going to kind of turn this out and not roll it, but I have these bad boys right here, paddles. They're like wooden paddles to try and hopefully shape the butter. I've seen people shape it and squeeze the rest of that butter out. Now, the thing is, you're going to have, like, I'm going to give this an initial one, right? Let's see. I can squeeze out as much as possible here. And then try and hopefully see if I can scoop this up decently. Hey, not bad. Not good, but not bad. I don't know. I'm gonna give it a shot. This is what I saw, or I've tried, I've seen people do. Just move it around, slap it. I think it's more for shaping than it is for squeezing out the water, but no, it's squeezing out water. It's working. All right, we're gonna give it another dunk back in. Actually, I'm gonna change to my other, I got another clean thing of water. Let me get this on there though. And I'm gonna wipe this up a little bit. Let's see how that works. All right, you know what? We're gonna do one more good squeeze on this because I'm gonna go to my clean water after this. Let's see how my hands do with it. I feel like the paddles are probably, for me at least, more for shaping. Kind of like kneading bread, right? That's what I'm thinking of it as. Should probably have turned my water off, so that's not in the background. Whoops, rookie mistakes. All right. Grab the clean water. Get rid of my dirty water. Clean water over here. You know what? I'm gonna kind of give that a little bit of a wipe up as well. Why not? Or at least get the water off. Because we're trying to eliminate water, right? That is, why am I saying right like I'm asking you guys and you can respond back? You can respond in the comments. Let me know how I'm doing. But all right, let's get back to this. See if we can squeeze out the rest or as much of that water as possible. I've seen like French places that have wooden wheels. That'd be something I gotta like look into and invest because I do really enjoy making my own butter. If you guys make this, it's gonna be hopefully one of the best butters you've ever had because it's amazing to me. But trying to get that water out is just a process I'm still not great at. So I'm gonna give this another good squeeze. Get it back in the cold water. Then I'm gonna try and like dry it off a little, clean this up, and we'll be back. All right, folks, we're back, and I'm gonna see if I probably got some butter all over my camera, but no big deal. So what I'm gonna, you know what? Should have been a little better prepared, but what I'm gonna do, I am gonna go ahead and take it out of the water. I'm gonna give it a little squeeze with a paper towel, just slightly, so I can kind of get some of the surface moisture off. Maybe that'll help. Seems to have. All right, not bad. That'll wipe down. All right, now we're gonna try and get it together with our, like you can sit here, smack it down, get it together with our butter paddles. Maybe this will get out some more now that it's fully washed. You know what I forgot to do though? And that's why we're learning as we go. Currently this is unsalted butter. I'm gonna grab my scale and we are gonna put some salt into this. Usually about 1 to 1.5%. Ooh, geez. So, I always, like I said, I always enjoy doing things in grams, or I shouldn't say enjoy, it's just the easiest. We have 406 grams. 4%, oh, I'm sorry, 1% would be 4.6, right? So we're gonna go with 5 grams. See how that works out. All right, my math was a touch off. It wasn't 4.6, it was technically 4.06, but it still doesn't matter. I'm still making it, what do you call that? 5 grams, so 5 grams of salt. So I'm gonna actually go back to flattening this out with my hands. We are gonna take 5 grams of salt now, distribute it right in the middle, and then kind of do that whole kneading process again. One of these days I'll get good with the paddles and be able to do it with that. Yeah, just gonna knead it, and guess what? If it needs to get back into the water because it's heating up, I'll do that. But as of right now, it seems to be okay. And as soon as I say that, it's smearing more than I want it to, so back in the water we go. And I'm gonna try and see if I could scrape up. Oh, I can, look at that. Guess that is a good thing about this. Scrape up some of it. Put it on to the butter and let it cool down for a minute in the water. Once it's somewhat cooled down, we're gonna go back to kind of incorporating that, that salt. Just kind of flipping it, I guess, into thirds. Third that way, third this way. And we're getting warm again, so I'm gonna do one more fold. One more fold. Yeah, let's do this up in my hands now. Fold. Fold. Should I keep saying fold, or I think you guys probably get it, right? I feel like I got most of the water out, so what I'm gonna do now, kind of shape it. Well, I'm gonna put it back into the cold water, actually. And then I will start shaping it a little bit better. I guess this is gonna net me just under a pound of butter, right? 454 grams is 1 pound, so. All right, it's gonna sit in that water to cool down. I'm gonna get that paper towel again and probably just give it a quick dry off. And do some quick shaping. All right. This isn't going to be a perfect rectangle, but we're going to get it close, right? Do the slap down. After some shaping, I guess, you know what, we'll keep it kind of like that because, hey, we know it's homemade, right? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and plop this on a plate, kind of make it look nice, and yeah, we'll see you in a bit. So there you go. After the process, you end up with a nice block of butter, nice homemade cultured butter, right? That it's delicious on everything. I mean, rolls, I cook with it all the time. I put it inside my, right over here, right in my butter bell. Leave it out here, and I use it eggs in the morning, everything. Butter is fantastic. So yeah, that, and also have that buttermilk. So this is gonna go in the fridge. I'm going to wrap that up, and yeah, I'm also gonna wrap up this video. That's a good one, right? All right, there will be plenty more where that came from. All right, fridge. Should have probably made space before making awesome jokes like that, but you know. All right, so there you have it, folks. We just made some butter that time around. So yeah, we're cooking along. Not cooking anything just yet, just showing how to make condiments and whatnot, but hey, it's getting there, right? Just want to leave you with my old quote. Remember, when you're cooking, you're making food out of ingredients until you sit down and share it with loved ones. Then it's a meal. All right, thanks for coming by again, guys. We'll see you next time.